Hi everyone. I know it's been a while, but I've got these little duckies. Now I've already poured, obviously, and these sat for a little bit longer, so they'll pop out. They've pulled away from the edges. These are goat's milk soap, and they smell. I use the Energy fragrance oil from Brambleberry, and they're just adorable. I think I might use these for little thank you gifts for anyone that might place an order, and I'm still working on that. But for those who know us, you know that my husband's special needs adult son, who's 25 and functions at about 3 years old, has come to live with us in our home because the state just simply couldn't take care of them, even though they were under contract to do so and got plenty of funding. The issue is that he's violent. And he's autistic. He functions at about 3 years old and has a whole host of special needs. And unfortunately, he's also recently been diagnosed with a very terminal form of cancer. And so even going to live in a group home, if there was one available that could handle his behavioral needs, the doctor wouldn't allow it because he would be at such high risk for an infection with his cancer. But I think the biggest problem that we have is what do you do with somebody, an adult, who is violent? And whether it be from autism or special needs or a brain injury or dementia, it makes it very difficult for the caregivers and unsafe. And so short of sending him to a facility or a psych ward on hospice, because they won't treat him for his cancer in those facilities, we're stuck here, and it's been dangerous. It's put myself and my husband in the hospital this last year, and it's been challenging on our business since he takes more than 2 people full time to care for him. And we've been fairly isolated with no help whatsoever from the state, which is, like I said, they were under contract to help take care of him. But we definitely, reaching out to the rest of the world and saying, hey, what do you do? What options do we have for individuals like him where the meds just don't seem to work and behavioral therapy is not really effective, that they can just still be violent and, not all the time, but enough of the time that you're on eggshells all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and do another pour of these, and we'll dress them up with cute little eyes, and we'll come back. Thanks. All right, so I've got the soap melted, and I know I did this backwards. You do the pour and then the unmolding, but I had already poured those off camera. And so I had been asking questions about what do you do when you have to live with somebody or be a caretaker for somebody that is, violent. So for us, I'm married into this. And so, short of me leaving my own home and moving out, I really didn't know. We didn't have the finances to actually do that. Plus, the local community mental health had been promising that he would have placement, and this went on for an extraordinarily long amount of time, over a year, until he was diagnosed with cancer, actually. So there were just a whole bunch of empty promises given. But we know there's really not going to be any resources here in Michigan, and even though he's being treated at University of Michigan in Ann Arbor for his cancer, which has been great, they're talking about transferring him to MD Anderson in Texas. But it's tough. The whole family has to ask, and the doctors are asking, okay, well, what are we saving? He requires such an immense amount of resources, and he has to have someone with him, or at least 2 people with him 24 hours a day just to survive. He has a whole lot of medical issues. I will never, ever question somebody's life or, make any that kind of decision. That's not my decision to make, but it sure is a question that has been raised because he has been such a challenge to take care of, and he has not been safe for himself or others. And it's not all the time, but it's enough of the time. And so, Anyways, if you've been following our YouTube videos, you might have an idea. It's been a while since we posted because living with somebody like him is so challenging that it's very difficult to start something because the majority of the time you're going to be interrupted. We have created a safe workshop for myself in the basement, and so he doesn't have access to it. So that has allowed me to accomplish some things. We do have 2 nurses that come in a few hours every day that has given us a little bit of relief. And because of them, we've actually been able to start selling inventory from the bait shop, our bait shop that we had to close. And I've been able to start working on my soap a little bit. So anyways, that's the question. What do we do? What resources might be out there in other states to get the help? And if anyone has any resources or any ideas, let me know. Thanks. Hi everyone. So I realized after I made the video of the unmolding and pouring of these little duckies that I didn't actually take photos of them. I packaged them up, just have to label them. But here we go. And I know I laid on a lot of really heavy duty stuff in that video. But since that time, we found out that Jamin's chemotherapy this last year has not worked. And there's more cancer now than there was before the treatment started. And it is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Because he's such a behavior risk and has such high special needs, he does not qualify for a bone marrow transplant. So this is a terminal cancer, which means he is not going to be able to go anywhere as far as a group home or facility. He will have to live the rest of his days with family members at home. And as he gets sicker, one of our concerns is as he gets sicker and doesn't feel well, that he is actually going to be even more of a behavior risk. So the hospice, someone from the hospice team did reach out and explain to us how that works. And apparently, when people go into hospice and get near the end, even if they are of sound mind, they can become combative or become unsafe to their caretakers. And with that said, they are trying to make arrangements so that that is not, so that we can deal with it if it becomes an issue. He's actually in the house right now having a bit of a fit, which is why I had to come outside to record. And so that's our challenge. We're still looking for any help or resources we can get as far as that's concerned, but I just wanted to give you a really quick, the factory's a little loud. There's a factory right on the other side of those trees. And like I said, we're kind of in the middle of the nowhere, but right next to a factory. And there's the pond out here. Just get a little bit of beauty. My husband had tied soap, like an Irish Spring type soap scent, to the apple tree, and that kept the deer from eating all the apples. But we've picked all the lower ones. We need to still get to the top ones. But anyways, so thank you for watching. Any advice anybody has, just let us know. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.